I don't know if this is happening to you guys, but I'm sure it is. I'm losing track of what day it is and what time it is. So I am up way too late because I fell asleep for a nap and woke up at 10 o'clock at night. So what to do except read another chapter? I'm so glad I have this activity. We are reading through my book. I mean, I am reading through, you're listening through my book, Letters from Backstage, which is a chronicle of my time on the road with 2 Broadway shows. And, again, thank you all for writing to let me know you're enjoying this. That just fills my heart with happiness. You have no idea. So it's time for chapter 5, entitled Honey, They're Showbirds, which is going to make sense to you in a moment. November 4th, 2002. Dear readers, the fog has lifted and the sun has risen again. The people are happy. There's joy in the village. Chapel bells are ringing. There's cheering, ticker tape parades, and dancing in the streets. The evil giant is dead. We have survived Cleveland and put it well behind us. There were no tearful goodbyes or last longing gazes. In fact, when the final curtain came down on closing night, we all kicked it and gave it the finger. Good riddance. And then came Cincinnati, a surprisingly charming city. Of course, after Cleveland, any place else was the fucking French Riviera, as far as we were concerned. I've never seen such a large group have such a uniform reaction. The little ears that you see at the bottom of my screen intermittently belong to Mr. Link. There he is, Mr. Link, yes, who doesn't understand the concept of daddy is reading to a lot of people. Where was I? I've never seen such a large group of people have such a uniform reaction. Something shifted. Everyone, company-wide, seemed lighter and happier. People lifted their heads and looked at each other again. I ran into one of our traveling crew members, Kent, backstage, and I asked how he was doing. He shook his head with relief and said, "Oh man, so much better." It's nice to see us all smiling again. 2 of our leads and one of our many producers are from here, so there have been lots of family and fans at the show, lots of dinners to attend. Oh, how we suffer. To me, the coolest thing of all is that you could walk over a bridge and be in Kentucky. Being feeble-witted and easily amused, I walked back and forth over that bridge several times during my stay just because I got such a kick out of changing states. I even called friends on my cell phone. I'm in Ohio. Wait. Now I'm in Kentucky. Okay, so I'm an idiot. But in my defense, we're all pretty goofy these days. Outside our hotel, there's a beautiful walkway with trees and little lights that goes on for several blocks. It's a great place for walking and thinking. And it's been raining, which I love. One day, I took the shuttle over to Kentucky by myself to go to a movie theater there, rated #1 in the country for first-run movies. And then I took myself out for a terrific lunch at this Tuscan restaurant where, when I told a friend, he said, "I thought all they had in Kentucky was barbecue." Au contraire, mon ami. I sat there eating this gorgeous food, sipping this hot coffee with the rain falling on the skylight and the ceiling, and I thought, holy shit, who has this life? This is really good. And I thought about the terrible darkness of my childhood and about the romantic disappointments and dire financial tensions of my 20s and the discouraging career struggles of my 30s and how impossible it would have been to predict ever being quite this content. I promise not to wax maudlin about my past here, dear readers, but this sweet little moment at a restaurant in Kentucky was made even sweeter by how far I had to journey to get there. Far further than just across a bridge. Mel Brooks came out to see us during our final week in Cincinnati. As fate and the theater gods would have it, he saw the show the night we had the best audience ever. These folks came in laughing. They laughed at the curtain. They laughed at the overture, for Pete's sake. Afterwards, we all went out for a bite, and Mel was like a kid at Christmas as he worked the room. He was thrilled with the show. I'm so fond of Mel. He's like a long-lost eccentric relative. Now, Apparently, word had gotten around that I didn't suck when I went on as Max. One of the higher-ups told me privately that Mel is now claiming he'd handpicked me from the start. I knew, he told them. That customer, I knew it when he walked in. That was my Mel impression. Okay, I'm working on it. So he says to me, I heard you were terrific. Mel talks the way a dog chews on a bone. Oh, well, that's great. It was fun, Mel. I heard, he said, wagging a finger at me. You weren't going to let that curtain come down. Yes, well, thank you. Hell, I didn't know what to say. It was embarrassing, but geez, how great was it to have Mel Brooks, the man who indirectly taught me how to be funny. I grew up listening to the 2,000-Year-Old Man recordings. Sidebar. Listen to them if you haven't. Look them up. It's Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner used to do this bit at a party where Carl Reiner would interview Mel Brooks, who was playing the part of a 2,000-year-old man. And they were so funny that they went on to record them. They're stupid funny. Anyway. But how great was it to have Mel Brooks, the man who indirectly taught me how to be funny, I grew up listening to the 2,000-Year-Old Man recordings, mention my name and the word terrific in the same sentence. Okay, so yada yada. Things are great. And think that since there's not much more to report about Cincinnati, I thought I'd take this opportunity to catch you all up on a few amusing anecdotes from the past few months, stuff that I failed to recount the first time around. So here, in random order and with little segue, are some fun bits and pieces. My sister, her husband, and my 2 nephews came to Pittsburgh to see the show when we were there. I'm crazy about the nephews. Nick, at 9, the one who reminds me a lot of myself, is becoming quite the little man. And Jason, at 5, is fulfilling the main requirement of his age, being hilarious. They showed up in their handsome dress-up clothes, very excited to see Uncle Michael in a show. Beforehand, I gave them a quick backstage tour. Roger, the wig guy, interrupted his pre-show prep to give Nick and Jason their very own Hitler mustaches, which thrilled them to no end and made the rest of us laugh, tensely. I'd explained to them that I played a lot of parts in the show. Their assignment was to see how many times they could find me. I think the official number of characters is 12, and I'm often well disguised. Afterwards, they were both very excited. Nick had found me every time, and Jason had this to say: I counted you 6 times, and then I took a nap. And that's a great day at the theater for a 5-year-old. You see your uncle, you get a nap in, watch a couple of numbers, you're good. And as we walked to a nearby restaurant for lunch, they competed for who had the better goose step. I'm a Nazi. No, I'm a Nazi. At this point, my sister had to gently put a stop to things. Okay, boys, that's enough of that for now. I'll explain later. Last Sunday, my brother-in-law called to report that the boys have been listening to the CD ever since and that Jason had just come downstairs dressed as Max Bialystock, the King of Broadway. I hope these pictures are visible. These are the little Nazis. And this is Jason enjoying the show, and that is Jason as Max Bialystock, the King of Broadway. Next story. When we first meet Franz Liebkind, the insane Nazi playwright of Springtime for Hitler, he's on his rooftop feeding his pet pigeons. The pigeons, which are puppets operated by unseen ensemble members, are a show unto themselves. One of our swings was watching the show one night and overheard the following exchange in the lobby during intermission. Girlfriend: it was amazing to see how those pigeons sang and flapped their wings on cue. How do they get those birds to do that? Boyfriend: long, exasperated pause. Honey, they're showbirds. They're trained to do that. Another swing overheard an equally strange remark after Keep It Gay, the number in which the flaming, notoriously bad stage director Roger Debris introduces his production team, all very gay, including Shirley Markowitz, the Butch Dyke lighting designer. Shirley is played by Jessica Sheridan, who, like me, plays several parts in the show. The woman says to her husband, "Can you believe they got a real lesbian to play that part?" As you know, we in the ensemble wear a lot of different costumes. And from time to time, we'll be down in the dressing room getting ready for the next scene and suddenly find ourselves in the wrong outfit. My fellow character man Kevin Ligon and I are the worst. I once saw Kevin dressed completely in his colorful second act Bavarian peasant costume for Springtime for Hitler in the middle of Act 1, when he's supposed to be a drab accountant. He didn't catch the mistake until he was in full regalia. And of course, as a matter of policy, we never help each other out. It's much more fun to watch someone discover that they put on the wrong costume. But it's easy to get confused. In Act 1 alone, I'm a highbrow theater patron, a newspaper man, Leo Bloom's mean boss, a flamingly gay costume designer, and a little old lady. When the show opens, we're all emerging from the Schubert Theater, having just seen Max Bialystok's latest flop. The women are in elegant evening gowns, and we men are in tuxes with white gloves. So a few nights ago, I'm in the dressing room getting ready, chatting away with my fellow ensemble members. I have on my tux, bow tie, patent leather shoes, and I look down. I'm wearing my little old lady purse on my arm and long white little old lady gloves. Now there's a look. Translation, please. In Cleveland, I shudder at the memory, we had several truly strange comments from audience members. What follows is but one of many bizarre exchanges. I repeat it here in the hopes that someone can tell me what the hell it means. Audience member to Louis J. Stadlin, who plays Max. Oh, we love the show. Louis. Oh, thank you very much. Audience member. You know, we were going to see it on Broadway, but we couldn't get tickets. Louis. Well, actually, some people are saying that this is the better production. Audience member. Yes, we love our town. Huh? Yeah, I agree, Link. It's a very strange comment. And finally this, from castmate Leroy Reams. This is a quote. This company is so nice. I mean, I keep waiting to see who the asshole is. I've been in this business a long time, and trust me, honey, there's one in every show. But I keep looking and looking. I'm starting to think it's me. More laughs to come, and maybe we'll even find out who the asshole is. Stay tuned, friends. Kostrov. Well, that was a short one, and I'm no more tired than when I started, but I hope you all are better able to sleep than I am. See you for the next one when we go to, I believe it's Minneapolis. Thanks for joining me.